Gary?
Morning. On here, then. Pathetic. Give us it back.
Should be inside. What are you doing out here?
Getting away from him, ain't I? He's sitting there, staring at us.
Yeah, well, it will be. And he'll be sitting in a dock staring too if you have to give evidence. That's something every witness has to deal with.
Yeah. But not every witness is giving evidence against his dad, is he?
You took your time?
Yeah, sorry, Sarge.
Well, now, Yuri, I'll give you the good news. Warrillow's going not guilty on both of them. The missus and the kid.
What?
Oh, yeah. He reckons he can wriggle out of beating the kid and her. His brief's cooked up some defence, apparently. Probably going to say he's got a nervous tic that makes him lash out in all directions.
Yeah, but he admitted it. And there's photos of Gary showing his bruises.
I just got the message, Mike. The CPS brief will explain it, if you can find him.
Yeah, don't worry, I will. CPS, PC Jarvis.
Oh, yes. I'm Mr. Samuels. We'll be on in a minute. I take it you've heard.
Yeah, he's going not guilty on both.
That's right. I mean, he was always going to try it on with his wife. There's not much evidence, and they always do, don't they? But now he's decided to fight the boy's case, too.
Look, call me stupid, Mrs. Samuels, but what possible defence has Warrillow got for what he did to Gary? I mean, since he admitted beating him, and we've got photos to prove it.
Well, it's quite obvious, really. Like to think I'd have thought of it myself.
Yeah?
His defence is reasonable chastisement.
What?
Reasonable chastisement. He'll say Gary was being a troublesome teenager or something, that Gary cheated him back, did something wrong and so got punished for it.
With a belt? He had bruises all over his back.
No.
All for standing up for his mother. To try and stop her getting beaten up, as per usual.
That may well be. But Warrillow will probably say otherwise, won't he? And the law of the land is that you can chastise your child reasonably. Still, we'll do what we can.
What about Mrs. Warrillow? I mean, she made a statement too.
That's the really clever bit, in my opinion. Shall we go? If it looks as though Warrillow's going to get off on a charge against his son, and then perhaps return to the matrimonial home, do you really think his wife will still testify against him in her own case?
No, I'll see.
Brian Warrillow. Court number 1.
I wouldn't bet on it, would you?
Mike.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sarge, do us a favour. Have a word with Mrs. Warrillow while I'm in. Mrs. Samuels here reckons she could go flip-flop on us.
Make it a very tactful word, Sergeant, not discussing the case, since you're a witness too.
Right. Leave it with me.
So what we're left with is we won't play ball.
Just Gary.
Well, the word of a 14-year-old against his father.
It could be all we've got.
Sergeant Boyden. I was a custody officer in your case. I got Gary examined.
Oh, yeah.
In a bit of a state, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But I don't know if any of this is going to make things better.
At 10:25 p.m. on March 11th, I attended a disturbance at 77 Ettrick Crescent, home of the defendant. I heard raised voices come from inside the house, but no one answered the door. I was about to try and force my way in when I saw a woman, who I now know to be Mrs. Warrillow, sitting in the family car in the driveway.
In the car?
And yes, Your Worship, she'd locked herself in.
Go on.
I persuaded her to open the car door, and she told me her husband and son were arguing in the house and she was keeping out of it. I then got her to let me into the house.
And what condition was she in? What state, Constable?
She appeared to be frightened, but she did not appear to have been harmed.
Go on.
I entered the house, where I heard shouting and screaming. I heard someone saying, "Mind your own business." I then entered the kitchen, where I saw Mr. Warrillow, the defendant. I then saw Gary, his son, in the corner of the kitchen, by the TV. He was crying, distressed, and his T-shirt was ripped. And opposite him, on the corner side of the table, was his father, the defendant, shouting back, "Keep out of it. Mind your own business," like I said before.
And was he holding anything?
Yes, sir. A belt. He had it folded in two, buckle end in his hand, and he was holding it over Gary. I said to him, "What do you think you're doing?" And he said, "I'm teaching him a lesson." So I said, "Put the belt down."
And?
And he did, after some hesitation.
Did he seem willing to do that?
He'd been drinking, but he became cooperative quite rapidly.
But you still arrested him?
Oh, yes, sir. After I'd seen what he'd done to his son's back.
I want to see him punished. You know, for what he did to Gary. But if he's going to walk free on that one...
What makes you think he will?
Brian, he says his brief's got it all worked out. He told me.
He won't walk if you give evidence. Not if you stick to your original statement and tell the court what he's been doing to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it? I mean, how do you know that? What happens if he does get away with it and I've testified against him? How do you think that's going to make him behave?
He won't walk, believe me.
But what if he does? Where does that put me and Gary? Either still living in the same house as him or on the streets. Think about it.
What interests me as far as your evidence is concerned are two things. The first is that my client readily admitted beating his son, Gary, the photographic evidence of which we shall be seeing. Is that correct?
Yeah, he admitted it, yeah.
Good. The second is a question which I will not ask you to answer yourself. Instead, I would simply like you to tell me whether you asked it at the time. Did you ask the defendant why he had beaten his son? It's quite straightforward, Constable.
Gary had already told me he'd been trying to stop his mother.
I repeat the question, Constable. I am talking about the defendant and what you said to him. Did you ask Mr. Warrilow why he had beaten his son?
No, Your Worship.
So the defendant at no time explained to you why he was beating his son?
He'd been drinking.
Nevertheless.
The boy had been assaulted. He admitted it. I arrested him. There wasn't the time to sit down and have a family meeting about it.
Constable.
Sorry, sir. I did not ask Mr. Warrilow why he'd been beating his son, as I had already been told by Mrs. Warrilow. All right, Gary?
Sergeant Boyden?
I'll fetch him.
Have fun, did you?
This brief's up to something. Got it all worked out, I can tell.
Oh, well, wish me luck.
Oh, hang on a minute, Sarge. What does she say, Mrs. Warrilow?
Well, she says she'll testify, but I'd say it's touch and go. Same old story. Better the devil you know. See ya.
Sarge?
Sergeant Boyden?
Yeah, come in. What is it?
Without her evidence, Gary's on his own against his father. Stood in court.
Well, I know that.
Well, if his mother sticks with his father, he'll be testifying against them both in effect. He split up the family.
It's not our problem, Mike.
Mind if I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Now, Sergeant Boyden, I have no problems with the custody record, which seems exemplary.
Thank you.
I merely wish to ask you why you charged the defendant with assault.
Sorry?
Why, Sergeant?
Because from the evidence I had before me, assault seemed the most suitable charge.
So on the basis of these bruises, and my client's admission of causing them with his belt, you charged him with assault?
Yes. The doctor confirmed the skin wasn't broken. Otherwise, I'd have charged the defendant with GBH. As it was, we settled for assault.
Despite the fact that the skin wasn't broken?
Of course. It's still assault. And on his own say-so, too.
But is it? Surely where the matter is between a father and a son, and the father says he is teaching him a lesson, there is a possibility that it was reasonable chastisement.
Reasonable? That?
You said yourself the skin wasn't broken.
She ain't gonna do it, you know. She'll bottle out.
Did she say so?
No, but I know her. She never stands up for herself anymore. That's why I had to.
Yeah, I see.
So why don't you talk to her? Tell her it's gonna be okay.
I can't. I mean, I can't advise her. And anyway, I'm not so sure it's going to be okay.
Why not?
Well, just because. It's not that I don't want to help.
Well, I'll bear that in mind. It wasn't you that got it, was it?
Did you not at any time seek to establish whether this had been reasonable chastisement of a teenager by a father?
I do not believe that this was reasonable. I believe that this was an assault.
Sergeant, that was a question. Do you wish me to repeat it?
Did I ask him why he did this to his son?
That is correct. Not whether you were told anything by anyone else, but whether Mr. Warrilow was asked why he did it.
No. But that still doesn't make this reasonable.
Thank you, Sergeant.
I shall come to that later.
How'd you get on?
Painful. Do you speak to her?
Nah, it doesn't look good though.
Telling me. Their brief's behaving like the cat that got the cream.
Well, now's the moment of truth.
I want to hear this.
You have to go in.
No, I'm not going in there.
You could find yourself in contempt, Mrs. Warrilow.
I don't have to go in there if I'm frightened.
Frightened?
Should have said this before now.
I've only just made up my mind. I'm not going in there, and that's that. I want us all to go home.
It's not going to help your case against your husband.
I know that. But you can't make me say anything if I don't want to. It's my business. I'm trying to keep my family together, and this is how I'm going to do it.
So you won't testify in Gary's case either?
No, it's a waste of time. It's all a waste of time. We can go home now.
Well, is that what you think, Gary? It's a waste of time?
No. I don't care what she does. I'm going ahead.
Gary, can I have a word?
Okay then. On the head.
Sorry, Gary. I just reckon you should think very carefully before going through with it.
Why?
Well, it's not a nice thought, Gary, but it looks as though your mother's going to stay with your father.
You what?
And if you take sides against him, you could be taking sides against her as well.
What? I only tried to help her.
Yeah, I know.
She wouldn't stay with him, not now.
People do funny things, Gary, for all sorts of funny reasons. Take it from me.
She's mad.
And she's frightened. You heard what she said. She's frightened. But I'm not here to advise you.
So why are you?
Because nobody else will.
So you don't reckon I should give evidence? You think I should just go back to living with him and let him get away with beating her up every day?
Well, nobody wants him punished more than I do, Gary. I'm just saying you might split up your family.
What family? She stays with him, I haven't got a family.
The boy still wants to give evidence, does he?
That's what he says. Doesn't even want to scream.
Good on him.
What?
I hate to see wife beaters wriggle off. Don't like bullies.
Yeah, but he's only 14, Sarge.
They always pick on people that can't fight back.
I've just spent the last half hour trying to persuade Gary not to go ahead.
You what? Now's his chance. That's what courts are supposed to be for. Wish to God I'd taken my old man to court once or twice.
Yeah, but what about his mother and father? I mean, she's going to stand by her old man, frightened or not.
So? The kid's got this far, he's got to do it. For himself. Leave the rest to the social workers, mate.
I had enough. I've been watching for years. Not him doing it, because he's clever. He does it when I'm not around. But I saw the bruises come and go. I saw her trying to hide them.
But we have no evidence of this, Mr. Samuels?
We have no medical evidence, sir. Regrettably, the witness I was going to produce is no longer available.
Yes, I can appreciate your difficulty. Go on, Gary.
Well, I come home early. I did it on purpose, really. Thursday night, his darts night. He's usually had a few. I let myself in quiet. This time, I caught him.
Doing what, Gary?
He was stood over her in the corner of the kitchen. She was crying, curled up in a ball in the corner, begging him to leave her alone. And he was saying she started it. She asked for it. I think that's what knocked me most. Him saying she started it. And he had the iron in his hand.
The iron?
He was threatening her, telling her I'd fry her face off. It was still hot to see she'd been ironing.
So what did you do, Gary?
Well, I called the police. And I went back into the kitchen and I shouted at him. He was a bit surprised. So I took the iron off of him. I took it off of him and I threw it in the lounge.
And did you attack him?
No,
Hit him at all?
no,
Aggravate him?
no. Just took the iron off of him. Told him to leave her alone.
So what did you do next, Gary?
I went to follow her out. I told her that was it, we were leaving. But then he got me. When I turned my back on him, he hit me across here. With a belt. His belt. I went down, but he kept on. Again and again, on and on, hitting me with his belt. I tried to move out of the way, around the kitchen, but I couldn't. And then he arrived, that copper over there, and stopped him. And that's the honest truth.
Thank you.
Well, he handled that all right. I've seen officers give worse evidence.
Yeah, but that was the easy bit, Sarge.
Excuse me. Has Gary finished yet?
No. View's better in there, you know. You might learn a thing or two about your husband. Doesn't it bother you? Gary going through all this? Standing in there all by himself?
Of course. But you heard him. It's up to him.
So this is the support he gets for sticking up for you?
Yes. It's called keeping his family together and a roof over his head. And it's just as hard as going in there.
But what if he doesn't want that? What if all he wants is a bit of justice?
Well, he's come to the wrong place, hasn't he?
That isn't what I asked you, Gary.
Yeah, but he should have done. He knows why he started on me, ask him.
Please. You must just answer the questions, Gary. I appreciate how you feel, but please, just give answers. We're all here to get at the truth.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Mother's still outside.
All I
Tried
was
every word, she
asking
nearly
was
bit me head off.
precisely what happened earlier that evening. Whether, in fact, you had already argued with your parents.
I had, so what?
What was the argument about?
Nothing. I mean, it was me clearing up after me, going out or something. I can't remember.
Well, try to, Gary. And remember what you said to your mother
I said to her.
when she told you not to go out.
I can't remember. I told her, I told, just the usual rubbish. I told her to lump it. She's always going on at me. She's my mum, isn't she?
Yes, Gary. But did you, in fact, threaten her?
Threaten her?
Threaten your mother?
No, of course not.
What is she playing at?
I'd like you to think very carefully about that, Gary.
I've already told you.
Well, I have a different version of events, Gary. So I would like you to make quite sure that you try and remember what happened that evening.
I thought about it and I never threatened no one. Ask him or me mum.
I'm asking you, Gary. I have to put it to you that your father had no choice but to beat you after you turned on your mother.
What?
After you assaulted your mother.
You liar. You filthy liar.
Lying bastard.
Please, quiet, please.
Filthy, no good
If you don't
liar.
stop these outbursts, Gary, you'll be in serious trouble.
Yeah, no wonder they didn't want the mother in here. Back in a minute, Sarge. Mind if I join you?
Suit yourself.
No, I've just been watching in court.
Yeah?
Gary's giving his evidence now.
I know. How's he getting on?
Sorry?
How's Gary getting on?
All right. Should be all over soon. Back to the nick in time for lunch.
What are they saying?
Oh, listen, that. Gary's getting pretty upset. Not easy listening to lies your dad told.
What lies?
Well, of course, I don't know they are lies. He's getting pretty wound up by the lawyer. Must have got it from your husband. Mrs. Warrellow, I know you don't want to testify.
I can't, I don't. Not for Gary's sake, woman.
Yeah, but how do you know that? How do you know what's best for Gary?
Are you saying you do?
No.
Then keep out of it.
I just don't like what Gary's going through, for you.
For me?
Yeah, he stuck up for you. He waded in to help you. I just think you owe him a tiny bit back.
Yeah.
You've had quite a time with this witness, Miss Tallybrass, considering his age.
If you say so, Your Worship. But you are aware that I have not been given proper answers to my questions.
The boy is 14, Miss Tallybrass. This is a difficult and emotional experience for him.
But it is all.
I've answered. How many times have I got to tell you? I can't remember what happened.
Gary!
But he's the one. Can't you see that?
Your father's solicitor is saying otherwise, and you must try to answer her questions.
I never laid a finger on my mother. Ask her. It's just something he's cooked up. It's lies.
Did you or did you not push your mother? Threaten her for telling you off for arriving home late? And was it not a fact that you attacked your mother and were reasonably reprimanded for it?
Rubbish! That's total rubbish!
Quiet, please.
You know damn well
What's she
what
doing
happened.
in here?
My final warning.
Dunno,
How
Sarge.
could you, Brian?
Usher, remove that
Telling
woman.
lies about your own son.
Quickly, please.
How could you?
You must leave this court.
Come on. You got anything to do with this, Mike?
I might have had a hand in it, Sarge.
This could have got the case stopped. Doesn't do Gary any favours.
Yeah? I'm not so sure, Sarge.
Did you have anything to do with Mrs. Warrilow coming into the court? You presented the magistrate with the woman who says she won't testify screaming from the public seating area. Not very clever. Makes the whole thing look like a waste of the court's time, including the magistrate's.
I just thought she ought to see. Or to stop pretending she's the only one affected. In the long run, it might get a result.
But you've handed them the whole thing on a plate.
If I have, they already had it on a plate, Mr. Samuels.
What you reckon? Tennis says Gary loses and the dad walks.
If he does, there's no justice.
Like I say.
All right, you're on. Tennis says Gary doesn't lose.
Hope you brought your wallet, Mike.
Court rise.
Please stand, Mr. Warrilow. For those of you who may not be aware of this, for the defendant to be found guilty, it is necessary for me to be certain, beyond reasonable doubt, that Brian Warrilow assaulted either his wife Sharon or his son Gary, or both. In relation to the charge of assaulting Mrs. Warrilow, in view of the failure of the prosecution to lay any evidence before the court, that charge is dismissed.
You were saying?
However, with the case of Gary, I find myself dealing with the word of a 14-year-old boy and the word of a 44-year-old man who has exercised his right not to give evidence. In this case, I have physical evidence that injuries occurred to Gary. But instead of assault, I am asked to believe that these were a reasonable chastisement for attacking his mother. I have to say I do not believe that. I therefore find the defendant guilty on the charge of assaulting his son.
Yes!
Is anything known about the defendant?
No, Your Worship.
I see. Then I sentence you to 3 months' imprisonment.
What?
Take him down, please.
Rise.
You were lucky, mate. It's a pleasure.
No luck at all, Sarge. I had to win.
How do you mean?
I bet you Gary wouldn't lose, didn't I?
What do you think you're doing, Sharon?
It's over, Brian. You had your chance.
3 months, and I'll be back.
Not living with Gary and me, you know.
Cheers.